What's the difference?
Hey man,
Oh,
what's up?
fuck. Hey, fucking.
How do you want to handle
That shit is just.
It's also barely possible to lean back because
This is the solitary confinement?
Sharp.
Oh, fuck no.
And if you
This was like, this is like anime shit. Like, this really would break a person. I would snap if I was this. You can look, I got one arm, so I could put my,
hell on earth.
both of my arms over here.
the prison?
What's up? I mean, today we're going to react to inside one of Russia's most notorious jails. I like reacting to things like this, you know. It's just interesting, you know, like looking out like at different countries, how they operate, most of the things, like what's going on in other countries and stuff. And Russia's a wild place. You know, I don't know, I guess, much about Russia, but I've heard, you know, different stories here and there on the internet and shit. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, yeah, it's a good side to everything, but, you know what I mean? It's a lot of wild things that go on in Russia, you know. Hearing about, you know, because I'm a big fan, well, just recently, this year, I became a real big fan of like MMA. And, you know, Habib, you know, he's from Russia, he's from Dagestan, and the shit that they be doing, it's just different, man. It's just a different life over there. It's just crazy how, you know, like, we're all people, but, you know, we come from, you know, really just different backgrounds, you know what I mean? You know, we're different at the same time. So, anyway, inside one of Russia's most notorious jails, Archie documentary. So, let's get to it.
These men look tough on the outside.
Yeah,
I would.
I couldn't
Okay.
cope with my anger. So I killed the man.
Oh.
Strangled him. Yet in this place, it doesn't take long for them to repent for their crimes.
I love you very much. I really want to be back with you. Please wait for me.
Oh shit.
We've been granted
Oh, what the
access
fuck?
to a Russian prison that's considered the
That's like a
largest in
fucking,
Europe.
bro, that looks like a animal
How long can you walk a
cage.
day?
Like,
About an hour.
An hour?
Yes, sometimes more.
We've also visited its predecessor,
What?
a jail that went down in history
Oh,
as the country's
fuck
most
no.
infamous incarceration facility.
it's like a fucking dungeon, bro. A fucking, like some shit you see out of a fucking movie or
behind
something.
the sealed gates, there is a small basement where those sentenced to death were executed.
Oh, what happened? How did they
What's the
execute?
difference between life in a Russian prison now and back then?
What's the difference?
Hey man,
Oh,
what's up?
fuck. Hey, fucking.
How do you want to handle this?
Oh, no, that nigga like a fucking, you like
A
a
former
boss.
inmate told us some gruesome facts about prison culture he had experienced in the 1990s
Oh,
when the country's crime rate was at its highest.
oh, shit.
I saw a couple of times young guys raped by older convicts.
Niggas be getting raped. I mean, that's not. I mean, you seen that guy that was, they was like cuddling up in the bed and shit. Why did he do that? That was unnecessary, but okay. St. Petersburg, Russia. Okay.
We're in St. Petersburg, in front of what used to be Russia's most infamous prison. For more than a century, this was the largest incarceration facility in the whole of Europe, where the country's most notorious and violent criminals were being kept. Now we're going to check out the jail's darkest parts that have been hidden from the general public for decades.
Oh, this shit
This
was
looks like a
horrible.
perfect set for a horror movie.
Swear to God.
Even after 4 years since the prison was shut down, its empty cells and corridors still sent chills down
Oh, he
your
shut down,
spine.
bro. This does not look like a.
Well, this is one of the solitary confinement cells that were widely used during Stalin's rule
Well,
in the
no.
1930s.
Bro, I would hate to be in solitary confinement. If y'all know solitary confinement is like, you spend like 23 hours and you get like 1 hour maybe out and shit like that. You gotta just stay in the cell all day. You only get 1 hour out of your time. That shit is just.
It's also barely possible to lean back because.
This is the solitary confinement?
Sharp.
Oh, fuck no.
And if you spend here a few minutes, it's about bearable. But if you
This is like anime shit. Like, this really would break a
like
person.
this, where you can effectively
I mean, I guess that's what.
stand or sit on the edge of a small metal bed because
I would snap if I was this.
Forbidden.
You can look. I got one arm, so I could put my
Hell on earth.
both of my arms over here.
The prison was built
I
at
seen
the end of the
solitary
19th
confinement.
century as the most
It's not even like
advanced
any type of
facility
metal. It's just like
in
a
Russia.
rock.
Firstly, because of its iconic architecture.
The cross shape of the two main buildings not only gave the jail its unofficial name, but also made it easy for guards to monitor and access every corner of that prison at a time when CCTV cameras were a distant dream.
For most of its history, the prison served as a pre-detention facility.
Hell.
Yet in the Soviet times, there was also a dedicated wing for those found guilty of the most violent crimes like multiple murders and rapes.
This is probably the darkest part of the prison, death row. Behind the sealed gates, there is a small basement where those sentenced to death were executed.
But how did he get executed there?
The prison came to nationwide notoriety in the 1990s when the severe economic crisis that followed the collapse of the Soviet Union sent crime rates through the roof. Russian streets became an arena of bloody wars between newly formed criminal gangs.
What are you looking at? What are you doing?
Oh, that nigga look like fucking Bane.
You gonna cough up that cash you owe me, or what? This kind of talk was common back then. There were dictionaries of criminal slang.
Stanislav Baetsky used to run among Russian
Does that
criminal
nigga got on
circles
braces?
in the
What the fuck?
90s. In 1992,
Why did he
he
do
spent
that?
8 months in this
Did
prison.
they tell him to do that shit? He was like, alright man, just take down the beard and just spray it all over
As a
yourself.
businessman, someone owed me money.
They had to tell him to do
Deal
that
with
shit.
the guy.
Ain't no way you just do that shit for no
We
reason.
arranged a meeting, brought guns. Almost everyone had guns at that time.
Damn.
We arrived at the meeting point, and the police.
Damn, all niggas just strapped. Why you kick that nigga?
The crime rate was so high in the 90s, Europe's largest prison quickly became too small to fit in all the mobsters and
God
violent criminals.
damn. It's the largest prison, but it came too
The door
small.
opens and I have 40 ugly mugs staring at me, the faces of hardened criminals.
They should have just put
I sat down
subtitles.
on the edge of the bed. There was a place to sit down. These guys are looking at me like that. I had cigarettes. I lit a cigarette and offered these gangsters a smoke. They took almost the whole pack from me, so we smoked together and talked. So I
Damn.
realized it's going to be okay.
An ex-warden
Well,
who
this
served in
ain't
this
fucking-
prison at the time recalls some of the nightmarish
Could they just
scenes
tell him to
of his
stand there and
everyday
stare?
work.
Up to 14 people used to share this tiny cell.
What the
Is it true
fuck?
that some inmates even slept on the floor?
Yeah, you gotta like sleep on the
Otherwise, it
floor,
was
you gotta
impossible to
sleep
fit everyone
together.
in. People slept in 2 shifts.
A lack of funding had left the prison
In
without
two
most
shifts.
basic things like toilet seats. Inmates ended up rolling their blankets to have at least minimum comfort.
Bro, come on,
Growing
man.
up in Russia in the 90s.
You know, I know they did wrong and shit, but like, you know, at least get these niggas a toilet,
I
dog.
vividly remember how terrified I was when I imagined what it would be like.
Is this footage from back then, or is this some like, this is like some good ass footage, though.
Hardened, tattooed criminals give you this look as the door slams behind you. And some of the former inmates recalled that being rejected by fellow prisoners and becoming a pariah was something they feared the most.
Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes even more than solitary confinement.
these are the guys that you live with, so of course, if they don't accept
It's
you,
a terrible place that ruined
It's-
a lot of people's lives.
I mean, what the fuck are you gonna
Everyone
do?
who came out of these doors, they were mentally damaged. I saw how young guys were raped by old mobsters a couple of times. They raped young guys simply because they wanted sex.
Oh my god.
The country's future president,
Damn.
Vladimir Putin, visited the crosses in
Oh, that's
1992.
cool.
He was particularly shocked that prison dentists pulled out inmates' teeth without painkillers.
What the
The
fuck?
decision was made to shut down the Notorious jail altogether and build a
Damn.
new one from scratch.
W.
We're inside the new prison that has replaced the old one in the city. What's interesting is the fact that they have kept the iconic architecture by building 2 main accommodation blocks.
Oh,
in the
damn, it
shape
looks
of
so
a cross,
nice.
Only this time much, much bigger. So this new prison has been dubbed
Whoa.
as the Crosses 2.
This what it looks
And
like now?
it's
God
also
damn.
the
Look like a fucking
title
hospital or some
of
shit.
the largest incarceration facility in the whole of Europe.
Damn.
The new jail's so big, it has moving walkways.
What the fuck?
just like in
I ain't never
Denver.
seen a jail this good.
Guard and cover up to 20
I ain't never seen a
hours
jail have a fucking
simply walking
a
down
moving
the
rail
prison's
fucking
long
thing.
corridor.
I don't know what the fuck it's called. Escalator or something?
According to Russian law, there should be at least 4 square meters per prisoner. In our pre-trial detention center, we have
Bro,
7.
this is like this is a nice ass jail, nigga. Lock me up. I'm joking. Do not lock me up. I am playing. Ooh, you fucking locked up. It's still jail regardless. No matter how nice it looks. What the fuck? God damn, the transformation is real.
Every time guards enter a cell, all prisoners must line up with their hands behind their backs.
What they saying?
A typical cell in this prison has 2 to 4 beds, a sink, TV,
Oh my
and a
god!
small fridge. Although it's not what inmates appreciate the most.
What they
The most important convenience is that we have a restroom that you can lock from the inside. Other pre-trial detention centres don't have this, but here we do.
This is low-key
Frankly,
not
the
bad.
place
I wouldn't
doesn't
want to be
offer
here.
a
Don't get me
pass
fucked
for
up.
hostel or student doors.
But you got game boards? What the fuck?
Windows
God damn.
and beds bolted to the floor.
This ain't bad, bro.
The fact that the cell is spacious comes in handy.
Swear to
If I
God.
miss a walk for some reason, for example, I was with a lawyer or investigator, I can walk around the room. I mean the cell.
The new prison looks much
This
better
is
than
fucking
the old
room.
one. Some corridors even have cozy Christmas
You
decorations.
got lights,
You
nigga?
can still see CCTV cameras through layers of Tenzo.
What the fuck,
Everything
bro?
that's going on in the prison.
Hey, bro, the transformation on this is real. I mean, it's still jail regardless. Regardless of how look it is, it's still jail. You still don't want to fucking be there. It just still, you know, lack of freedom.
Every 10 minutes, it's a cause for concern. I may call in the guards so they can go and check on the inmates for the peephole. Just in case.
What case?
Suicide.
Oh,
Yes, suicide. That's when we don't see them. They should be under constant surveillance, visible on the screens.
The administration says the prison foods also get better as we walk into a vast kitchen where
Oh my
meals for
God,
over
bro, they got some
4,000
nice-ass
inmates are cooked every day.
kitchenware.
Fish steaks with mashed potatoes are on the menu tonight.
I love me some mashies. My mashies!
But you're still hungry.
You can have sandwiches with tea in your cell block.
Only those sentenced for minor crimes who have an excellent reputation among the guards are allowed to work in the kitchen. Even so, all knives and other sharp tools are stored in a metal safe. The kitchen supervisor documents every item that's handed out in a special book. Has any prisoner tried to steal a knife from you?
I have been working at this institution for 5 years. So far, there has been no such attempt.
That's good.
Another place that has cutting and stabbing objects is the prison's dentist office.
Oh, damn, they got a dentist?
The administration says
I know.
the
Do they got
office
dentists in
uses
like
medical
in
equipment
prisons in America?
provides special
Let me know. I don't
The
know.
only thing that sets it apart from a city clinic is a prison guard who must stay close to the patient at all times.
I didn't know you could get fucking dentist.
The only time when inmates can hide from the constant surveillance is during a prison visit. Each convict can have his wife or another close relative stay with him for up to 3 nights in a special visiting room.
Hi, good afternoon.
So I
My
can-
name is
I can-
Igor Vasilovich. I am the head of
I
the
can
department.
fuck my
If
wife
you have any complaints, please let me know.
for like 3
No,
nights.
no complaints.
Apparently, we've interrupted this couple right in the middle of their date.
I've never seen them.
Is 3 days enough for a date?
Nigga, that's plenty,
It's not
nigga.
enough. Time flies fast.
I didn't even know you could like be
Flies
with
fast. I wish we had
your
more
fucking in jail. You
Out
could.
of the Regions Penitentiary,
It is jail. It's nice as shit. I don't give a fuck.
says
Like I said, it's
everything
still
here is
jail.
prison visits,
But
and
I've
must
seen,
at
like,
home as
God damn, it's way different from how it used to
The
be.
beds are separated like that, but if spouses arrive, they can move the beds together. This is at their discretion.
There is a separate kitchen where inmates and their visitors can cook food brought from the outside.
What
This
the
woman
fuck?
brought her husband his favorite snack, chocolate.
She can bring in food.
I want to wish you a happy new year, and that you see your husband back home soon.
Damn, he can hit them cheeks all he
It may
wants.
be nice in here, but there is no place like home.
Relations between a prison's administration and inmates aren't always that sweet.
Oh shit.
This man used to serve in St. Petersburg's old jail in the
that nigga.
1990s. His
Sheesh.
disability is a result of what a group of inmates did to him when they tried to escape on his watch.
Oh shit.
I fell down and they started beating me.
Oh my god.
They wanted me to give them the keys for the courtyard. I didn't give them the keys. I hid them behind my back.
Oh damn.
Couldn't pull them out. So they cut my throat. I was bleeding and they
Oh my.
killed me.
Why didn't you give them the keys?
Why should I? I have no right to do so.
It's his job.
But they could have killed you.
So what? Just think of what would have happened if I had given them up.
Remedy.
It's a life or death situation.
It's a
I came
remedy.
to serve. I knew what I'd signed up for. When you put on the uniform, there's no way back.
That's a real nigga right there. He said, "Fuck it, I die for this shit." I respect niggas like that.
When freedom and normal
Cause that's, I mean, a lot of niggas would have gave you the key. Bitch, I would have gave you the key. I'm not gonna hold a nigga. I would have gave him the key. I don't give a nigga. If a nigga slice somebody's throat, bitch, hey, here, come on, take that shit. Fuck off me. I'm giving you niggas the key.
Criminals of the Soviet era.
He what?
He was a monster who robbed and murdered people left, right, and center.
God damn.
Yet he managed to seduce a female attorney who brought him a gun. Maruv's escape attempt failed, but he shot 4 prison guards, one of whom died. Thursday played in memory of the fallen officer.
That nigga seduced the attorney. That nigga's a player.
What kind of extraordinary and dangerous individuals were locked up behind these walls?
Prison staff were always outnumbered by inmates. When we walked through the jail's corridors, we saw a guard escorting 3 men who, in theory, could have easily outpowered him. But instead of giving firearms to the guard, which may be risky in case of an escape attempt, the prison has alarm buttons on walls every 10 meters. But it's not a gun in a guard's hand or bars on windows per se that prevent inmates from running away. The most important thing is each prisoner's mindset that there is no escape from what you did. The prison's church, that by the way is among the few places without CCTV cameras, is there to show inmates they can be truly free only after they redeem themselves by doing time behind bars.
So religion.
Some say that being locked up in prison is hell on earth. Do you agree?
No, it all depends on the prisoners. Hell and heaven are inside every one of us. God fights Satan every time, and the battle plays out in people's hearts. Here they have time to think, to be alone. When they clear their minds, they start thinking better and eventually come to their senses. Their repentance becomes more genuine and better. They repent consciously and try to improve.
This prisoner looked nice and friendly. And when we said
so I guess they could try to escape,
offered,
but it's just like,
even imagine why he'd been sent here.
I got into a fight with a man, and it led to tragic consequences.
What happened?
Yeah.
I couldn't cope with my anger, and I killed the man, strangled him.
Tough.
My life is now divided into before and after. It's not just because I'm here. No one beats me here for what I did. I'm just left alone with myself, alone with my hatred. Plus I've ruined more than one life. I see this man's son in court. I look into his eyes and I see that he is my sworn enemy. I don't think I can fix anything now.
Then you don't feel like he can repent for his actions.
In the next cell, we met a man.
Imagine seeing the guy who killed his son in court. That shit.
He hadn't seen for 9 months.
Oh, no.
Dear Daddy, I miss you very much. I came from the dacha because I have art classes. Dad, come home. I really want a little sister.
Overwhelmed by emotions,
but
he couldn't keep still. His hands were shaking. Do you remember your last chat with your daughter? What did you tell her?
I asked her for forgiveness, asked her to wait for me. I said I love her.
How did she react?
The last time she saw me, I was in handcuffs. It was painful.
Both men seemed to fully regret what they did. Yet they're still waiting for their day in court, which will most likely be followed by a prison sentence. But it's not the bars, barbed wire, or strict prison regimen that they fear the most. It's the time they're going to spend away from those they love.
Yeah.
And that's their true punishment. We promised these guys we would air everything they want to say to their families, waiting for them outside.
Дорогая Дашенька, дружко, я тебя очень сильно люблю. Скоро вернусь.
It's so tough because like...
Знаете, самый лучший совет, который мне дал отец, это включать голову. Вообще по жизни самый лучший совет. Включайте все голову.
Yeah, that's some good ass advice. Use your head, think before you do shit, bro. Damn, cause shit like this could happen to you. Yeah, what's that? Damn. That's tough. I just think about it's like it's real tough because it's like how do you like judge when someone's like it's just like, it's because I mean, we're all human at the end of the day, so it's hard to really judge like how long should a person, you know, be like when is it the right time to give somebody like to like forgive somebody? I mean, like, you know, those people. I mean, the guy he killed. I mean, his family. You know, that's always gonna, you know, forever like be with them. So like, how long is it like until we let that shit, you know, let that, you know, forgive that person and let him be free, type shit. And the answer is, it's no right or wrong necessarily answer, because it's just like, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? To them, to the families, they might think, fuck him. He should be there forever. But should a guy really be there in jail forever for his actions? I guess it depends. Do you think somebody should be able to get freedom if they kill someone? Because you understand, when you kill somebody, you don't get that shit back. Of course, you know, I'm not talking about self-defense, or I personally, like, I don't know, I'm not saying to go get fucking revenge, but I feel like if somebody fucking, I don't know, if somebody killed your fucking mom or some shit for like, just kill your mom for no reason, and you go back and you kill that person that killed your mom, you have to give the person time, I guess, because, you know, you can't just have everybody out here just killing people. But I don't think you should get that much time, to be honest. You feel what I'm saying? Like, fuck all that shit. Like, you know what I mean? You kill somebody's fucking mom type shit. You know what I mean? So I understand that. You know what I mean? And from the perspective of the person who did it, like, when should they, like, be forgiven? It's such a very weird and just I don't know thing. I don't fucking know. I do not know. But hey, anyway, I'll see y'all later. That was a dope video. See y'all later.